In this video essay of Romeo and Juliet, we are going to look at how the lighting and the weather shows the emotion of the scene. We will look at why the scene becomes dark or the weather turns bad. We will also look at the difference between scenes that have similar events, but the lighting is different. In the movie, we see three specific scenes where the lighting is shown. When Tybalt kills Mercutio, when Romeo drinks the poison and Juliet commits suicide, and when Romeo kills Tybalt. The first scene shows the struggle between Tybalt, a Capulet, and Mercutio.
I'm both your
We see a bright sunny day, but as the scene progresses, we see that the sky transitions to dark and windy. The sunny day symbolizes the good time that they all had at the party the night before. It shows that they were all happy and they all were having a good time. The sun makes us as viewers think that the scene is going to be happy and fun, but on the contrary, the darkness makes us think that something bad is going to happen. We see foreshadowing from the clouds to indicate that something bad is about to happen, and then before we know it, the sky is dark and the clouds start to roll in. The dark sky and the clouds are very apparent after Mercutio is killed, which shows us that the event that caused the darkness is present. Mercutio being killed is what causes darkness, so it makes sense for the filmmakers to revert that. This whole scene occurs at nighttime. The mood in this scene displays a lot of anger, hate, and darkness. The nighttime should allude to the viewers that something is wrong within the scene and that something bad will happen. The only light we see in the scene is after Tybalt is killed and when the light shines on the statue, showing that the statue should be focused on and that the statue is never in the dark. The nighttime and the darkness of the scene starts to transition into a depressing and sad part of the film. It transitions from everything being good and happy to a time of distress and of abandonment. Romeo is sent away and the Capulets mourn the loss of their kinsman. Just before this scene starts, we see Romeo being chased in the dark by helicopters with lights. It is a good transition from going from the darkness of the streets to the lights of the church. Normally, we see death being portrayed as a negative thing, and usually dark lighting is associated with that. In this specific case, we see tons of candles and other forms of lights that are shining and illuminating the scene. This is completely opposite to the scene where Tybalt killed Mercutio. In this scene, we see two deaths, yet the scene is always light and never turns dark. I think this happens because we can see the relationship between Romeo and Juliet. It is a bright and happy relationship, and the lights reflect this. There was never a time of darkness between the two. Even though this was a time of death, we know that also a time of bringing together two people. The scene is positive and happy. But if it starts to transition to darkness and cloudy, then we know that something bad is about to occur. We also know that when a scene occurs at nighttime, that something bad is going on and something is not supposed to be happening. The nighttime always brings darkness and negativity. Sometimes the makers of the film will change the meaning of the lighting to focus on a specific relationship, specific event that is going to happen. As viewers, we can also see that when tragedy happens, the scene can still be happy and uplifting. This happens through the lighting of the scene. We see this through the scene of Romeo and Juliet's death. The lighting of a scene can change the mood and can also change how the viewer looks at the scene.